How's it going, guys? Welcome to Put You On Podcast. I don't even know what episode this is.
Like 8, maybe?
8,
7,
yeah, something
8.
like this. But got your hosting, Bully.
Jack.
And today we actually got my boss in the building, the owner of Industry, Shannon Mo Better.
What's up now?
Yep. So thank you for coming on, for one.
I appreciate you having me.
It's no problem, man. It's a pleasure, to honor for someone that's successful as you are and doing it in an area that most businesses can't survive or thrive in. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's especially in the time of the craziness in the world with the coronavirus, all the shutdowns.
Oh yeah. Nah.
You know better
yeah.
than anybody. You know what I mean? How crazy that shit's going on. You know.
Yeah.
I just want to get a little bit into that. Start off. How has this affected you at all?
Honestly, it took a big hit with us. Luckily, I should say that my landlord has been like really good at working with us. And with that being said, I feel a lot more fortunate than a lot of other people, because I know a lot of people who lost their businesses. Their landlords just kept caught, like making them pay and pay and pay.
Yeah.
The people here, surprisingly, were actually like really helpful. And within that aspect, it allowed our business to stay open. Because, of course, like Livermore is very expensive.
Yeah.
Believe
me, I know. Yeah.
And our tattoo shop is more on the higher end of, like, I should say, the prices of most tattoo shops. Because most tattoo shops, the reason you find them in the hood or like messed up neighborhoods and stuff like that is mostly because it's cheaper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the same reason why you find like every Coliseum, you'll see it like in the middle of the hood. You go to the Oakland Coliseum, it's like right in the middle of the hood.
Right in the east, yeah.
Remember what's his name? Candlestick Park. That was like right in the hood.
Yeah,
you
it
know what I'm
was.
saying?
Oh,
like,
for sure, yeah.
And that's why, because they get the land for cheap, and then they build up, and and that's the whole thing. Like with tattoo shops, most places you'll find them in like some like lightweight gutter areas, just because it's super cheap, and you don't really find you nowadays, I should say, you'll see people more investing in themselves to get a nicer place. But back in the day, especially even up to recently, you'll find places that are just almost sketch to go to. You don't even want to park your car around, So
I've been to a couple of those, yeah.
But to me, I've always tried to hold myself to a higher standard of like what I like and what I want, and what I want for my customers and clients. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to be comfortable when they come in.
Yeah.
Not worried about anything. You know what I'm saying? When they leave out in the middle of the night, you shouldn't have to worry about being robbed, jacked, your car being broken into, or something like that.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like my old shop.
Yeah, man, I didn't even like going to his old shop, bro. It was that sketchy.
There was two shops. There was the first shop.
Both of them I hated.
It was like the first shop, and it was funny because he showed up on bikes. So he's over here trying to be a little biker gang over here. So he shows up.
I just like to ride Harleys. That's all it is.
So he shows up, and he's just like, okay, I'm not the most intimidating guy here. Like,
no, not at all.
It's a whole street full of intimidating people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The second one was a little better though.
Second one was a little better, but I mean, you still had your hoodlums hanging out right at that liquor store right there.
Yeah, and that's part of it. Like one of the I say the second shop I worked at, it was right next to a liquor store, and it was in Hayward. It wasn't in a lightweight grimy area. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, like when you there, you don't think about it. You just look at the people, you look at everybody that you're you're dealing with on a regular basis, and you don't really have a fear while you're there, but you don't look at it from an outsider's point of view. Like if someone's coming and traveling, they don't know that area, they don't know the hood, the people. When they pull up, and it's like, oh shit, it's kind of like you get nervous, but like to me, I just realized that being in a nicer area, I mean, don't get me wrong, if something pops off, we ready.
For sure,
but but the whole thing is most of the people who come from the hood areas, when they come here, they don't act hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, I noticed that. Some of my friends come by. I'm like, bro, you better like chill. Like, don't be acting like you act over there. Like, this is different.
This is different.
No, I mean, but it's like when people come in, they see the place. You know what I'm saying? They come and see the place. It's like, you can be all like, hey, thug, and
Yeah.
you walk in, it's like, okay, maybe I do need to pull my pants up just a
Yeah.
hair. Maybe
Yeah.
I, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
for
Like,
sure.
and it ain't, and it's not a like an intimidating thing like that, but it's sort of like how can you say, it's like when you get like ghetto motherfuckers that, sorry, should I cuss?
No, you're good.
Okay,
you're
yeah.
good.
you
You're
cuss,
good.
Yeah, like when they
Say whatever the fuck you want.
But nah, for real, like when you get like hella ghetto people that like they go into like Beverly Hills to the Gucci store.
Yeah.
They ain't acting like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if they ain't got a crowd, they ain't acting like that. They acting like reasonable people. You know, they actually probably even want you to call them by their government.
Yeah,
You know
right.
So,
Yeah.
and
I get what you're saying, because it's like if you got people from, you know, the Bay Area and the more hood parts of the Bay, right, and they come to Pleasanton, Dublin, Livermore, whatever, and they're in the city, they ain't gonna be driving like they do in the Bay, because the cops out here and the neighbors, people out here are more. They live up to a different standard than some people in like the hood. You know what I mean? Where you can't just swing donuts at the end of your block out here. Because there's cops everywhere.
So, yeah,
you know what I mean? And there's Karens everywhere.
Yeah. But even more than that, it's a lot of people is Karens. When you put them in when you put people in certain environments, you notice that they act different. One of the reasons why people act crazy in the hood is because a lot of the time the hood doesn't respect the hood. Like the reason, like you're quicker to litter in areas where you see litter around. When you don't see litter around, you almost feel kind of crazy, like you look for a garbage can. But the same thing is like most of the people in the hood that's doing all that stupid shit, they ain't even from that area. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really live there. You know what I'm saying? You might get a few temporary renters, but anybody who owns a home there,
born and raised
there, they want to see their neighborhood look nice. And you know, and that's the same thing like with the business. You know, like I don't want my business to be just any related to like extra hoodness. You know, I'm not you know, I'm not a hood I'm not a hood motherfucker like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me twisted, but it ain't like, you know, I ain't trying to act hard or crazy or nothing like that. I'm me, you know.
You don't want your business to reflect the reputation of where you're going to be at.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's the thing. When people pull up, they see a nice building. You know, I've had a few cats that come in that I know straight thugs. You know, they, you know, like one dude even told me, he was just like, man, I don't even feel like I need my strap in here. And I'm like, like, yeah, you don't need it.
Leave it in the car, bro.
Like, I was going to pretend like I didn't hear that.
I mean, but like real talk, like I've been in some of the shops I've been in, you know, there's been times where, I mean, I don't be tripping like that, but I had to tell people, I'm like, dude, like, you got your pants sagging, I can see your piece. Pull, you know, go put that in your car. Get out of here. You know, like with that. You know, and they, oh, my bad, fam.
Yeah.
Over here, you don't get that vibe, you know. So that's what I love about it.
You know what, man? It's funny you say that, because when I pulled up to your shop, and I've always seen his shops, right, that he's worked at, and I pull up to this one, I remember this one a long time ago. My cousins used to get tatted here years ago, so I remember seeing it, and my cousin actually lived down the street. So whenever I'd come visit them, I'd see the shop here, you know what I mean? Well, when I first pulled up, I'm like, oh, you work here? I was like, damn, bro, this is such a freaking upgrade, dude. This is crazy. Look how beautiful the shop. And we walked inside. I was like, oh, my God, this shop is sick. It got a freaking rhino right there. Got a whole bunch of cool-ass artwork. I mean, it's badass, you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
And when I walked in, I said, whew, I could take a deep breath. No, I'm not stressing. I ain't got to watch my back. I felt it as soon as I walked in. Oh, so it's funny you say that, because as soon as I walked in, I felt comfortable. So if I did, I could only imagine how everybody else will come in your shop, feel welcome, feel safe.
That's my thing, is just more or less, like I said, everything I do is a little bit more calculated, and it's about all the places that I worked at. You know what I'm saying? Like the main like one of the main differences with this shop is that everyone has all private rooms. Yeah, I allow all my artists to decorate their rooms how they want to decorate it. So you actually have your own tattoo studio in a tattoo studio.
I think that's a sweet idea.
Yeah, and it's like every other place. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand why it's like that. But it's open rooms, you know, like you know, one person has a radio on, everyone has to listen to what they listening to. You know, I've been in that shop, you know. You know, if there's a TV on, usually they just even turn the volume down because someone got the radio on. And as a client, you're just stuck to looking around, kind of you know, like enamored with whatever is going on. And don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that like that vibe, and then there's a lot of people who like they don't want to be a part of that. They just want to be in their own zone.
For sure.
You know, like you got people who are self-conscious. You know, like when women come in, we get a lot of women that come in, they getting tattoos in various areas and all kind of stuff. Just to know that we can close the door, close the blinds. They're in a complete private setting.
They're a lot more comfortable.
Even if you a dude, you know, like there's some dudes that I ain't gonna lie, I got some like. It'd be like some fat motherfuckers that come in. They just like, man, I want, you know, like I want people seeing all these roles. And, I want to see this and that.
I feel that. I feel that.
That's why I haven't got my chest tattooed yet.
Nah, but real talk though, like if you have any insecurity, just the simple fact that you're not like just blatantly there on blast with everybody, that just makes you feel comfortable, you know. And like I've even had dudes, you know, they'll tell me they like, you mind just keeping the blinds? I'm like, it's not a problem.
All good.
It's all good. I'm not even tripping, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's
I get that, man. I do. One of my tattoos I got on my stomach. It was a shop like that. My boy did it. It was in Tracy, and it was my boy Nugs. Shout out to Nugs. He did it, man, and they had you know some females in there just chilling. You know, it's a tattoo shop. You know, people are gonna come chill, hang out. You know, I didn't give a shit, but I was thinking to myself, like, damn, I wish I would have lost some weight before I came in here, because you know these like
full Rick Ross it out.
I'm literally laying on the table right there, and they're sitting right in front of me. You know what I mean? And I'm just, my shirt's all off. I'm getting tatted. I'm in pain, like fucking trying to be as tough as I can. You know what I mean? So in that aspect, man,
you don't handle pain well either.
Yeah, nah, not at all.
But you know what it also is too? Is like I have a lot of like I said, we do have a lot of women that come in that are, you know, like are partially nude, whatever it is, in order to get their work. My thing is, like, I've had dudes even tell me they like, I feel comfortable with my wife or my girlfriend at your shop because, you know, it's one thing, that, you know, like the tattoo artist is like the doctor. You ain't tripping. But when you go see your doctor, he ain't like examining you in the lobby with everybody around. You know what I'm saying? So you trust your doctor, but you don't trust everybody else just walking around looking and this and that. So, you know, I've had many husbands, everything. They just like, hey, I know she's in good hands with you, and I feel good that she's just not, you know, like putting up little partitions where people can sneak around and look and see. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's that sense of comfortability that you can let your, you know, your woman, your child, anybody just, hey, go there, you good. You know,
it's more private. That's what I like about that, man.
And on top of that, it's you know, you come in here and you know there's a professionalism in here, you know, just the way you talk to clients, the way, you know, you
just interact with everybody.
Interact. The way you groom them. I like that word. You say groom all the time.
That's good. That's good.
I'm all about client, you know, like client education, you know, because a lot of people don't know how to be clients. You know, like a lot of people don't know how to approach certain people. And I mean, it's like, you know, it's sort of like the same thing I was telling you about the videos that I've just been putting up lately. You know, it's not even all about me. It's about helping people understand that, like, you know, like with any business, people in the business, they'll bitch and gripe about what they hate about what people do. But you don't tell the people, so they're gonna keep doing the same things. You know, like when you tell somebody like this is annoying as fuck, then they're like, oh, maybe I need to check myself before I come in. You know what I'm saying? And it makes the entire thing a lot better.
Yeah. You know? So where can they find those videos you're making at?
It's on my Instagram, at MbTat2.
Okay.
You know, like,
Facebook.
Instagram and my Facebook, I put them on my Facebook as well. Everything is at MbTat2.
Okay,
know?
cool. So that's in case anybody's looking into that.
Oh, yeah.
In case they want to see if they're that annoying customer. Because you know what? I'm going to watch them.
But you know what's funny, though? Like, ever since I've been putting them up, I've already had a few people DM me, and not even my clients. They were saying, like, you know what? I feel like a complete ass because damn near everything you said I did at another shop. And I was noticing why they was looking at me funny, and I was like, fuck them. But then I started realizing, like, no, maybe it was me.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So you already got responses from that.
I got
wow,
a
that's
lot of
crazy.
responses. I mean, I get a lot of, there's messages under the bottom, but the DMs are like crazy because I've had a lot of people just hitting me up like, thank you. Like, I literally didn't think about half the stuff that I'm saying. And if I'm disrespecting people by, you know, just by like just downgrading them. Like when people come in, they have this expectation that with our type of business that, I mean, we're in a service industry. You know, of course, we are here to cater towards people. But at the end of the day, we don't have to work on you. You know what I'm saying? If you come in at us crazy, you can get the fuck out. You know, and it's like, and we're not getting fired. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I'm not, you know, if you don't want somebody working on you and putting something on you for the rest of your life, if they're even remotely irritated by something about you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because that person isn't going to put the same emphasis on it. That, you know, there's a difference between getting the best out of the artist and or just getting what you want enough that you can get out the door so you can get on to something else.
Okay.
You know?
That's what I like about this industry. It's not we don't have HR. You know what I mean? I could tell a client to fuck off if I really wanted to. I won't. You know, it takes a lot for me to say that, but I get basically tell it like it is. You know what I mean? I don't have to kind of walk on eggshells. And I'm not a disrespectful person. I keep everything very professional. So if I ever said that, it's because, you know, it got me. It went there. But
Brian's one of the most patient people I've ever known. I think that's why we stayed friends for so long. Is because he has patience for my ass, and so does my wife. I think that's why we've been together for so long.
Hey, there you go.
I got a lot of patience.
Yeah, he does.
But once you break it though, it's a whole different guy.
Oh yeah, no, there's. I mean, honestly, there's been a few people we had to kick out of here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for you to get to the level that we really say, you know, like, look, you need to leave before it's really about to be an issue now. Yeah. You know, it takes a lot. You know,
I would think so.
Yeah, we're not just blatantly disrespectful when it comes to anything, but it's just still like, you know, like people come in, they assume that this is like any other department store or whatever, that they can just like, I want to talk to the manager. Well, the manager ain't fucking with you either. You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
the manager got my back.
Exactly. You know, so
for
just so happens to be I'm the owner.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
For real.
Yeah.
No, it's real.
Yeah, for the most part, it's like, well, how he feels, how I feel. So
Exactly.
So okay. So before we get too far into it, let's take it way back. Let's say, you know, when you started. How'd you even started? You know.
What age were you when you started, and what made you want to start tattooing?
Tattooing.
Drawing even.
I have a weird history with art, and a lot of other artists, I should say, don't always like my story or just what it is. You know, like, I'm a different type of artist. I'm not that kid that sits around all day and just draws all day and this and that. And that's never been me. But I'm one of those people that, like, when you tell me that you want something drawn, I can actually do it, you know, like, good, you know. You know, like, if I really want to get back into, like, the real thing with me, like, I probably started, like, in, like, 4th, 5th grade. You know, like, well, it was actually, when I started making money. Like, because I was one of those kids that, like, when I never really realized that, like, when we had, like, art projects and stuff at school, and, you know, you get together in groups and you got to do this and do that. And you got everyone wanted the kids to draw all the time. And then I'll put up my stuff and they'll be like, wait, you dope. Why ain't you drawing with us? And I'm like, because I don't feel like drawing. You know, like, I can draw, but I don't feel like just sitting around and drawing. But then after a while, kids started asking me, like, well, can you help me with my project? Yeah, for $5.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so
hell
I started really, like, I had a little hustle. I used to, you know, and I should never do it, but I was forging report cards and parent signatures and stuff like that. Yeah, because like all the bad kids was getting like all the fucked up grades, and I mean, y'all younger. I don't know if they still had the same thing at y'all age, but like we used to get like we get like the progress reports and you get the report card, but your parents had to sign it and then you had to bring it back. And I seen a kid crying one day. I think I was like in 5th grade.
I used to get beat every month.
And that sounds about right. I seen a kid crying on my way home, and he was just like, man, I'm about to get in trouble. I'm about to get busted just for this progress report. And I seen he had a piece of paper. He kept trying to write his mom's signature, and he couldn't do it to save his life. And I just like looked at it. I was like, let me see. And I just wrote it really quick. And he was like, that looks almost like hers. He like, can you do it on this? I said, yeah. I did it really quick. Came back the next day. He was like, man, thank you. Next report card period came, you know, like I had like 6, 7 other kids come in. I'm like, $2 a piece.
Yeah,
you know, like I said, I made my money, but
that's sweet.
And now they're all janitors.
I'm kidding. Nah, for real. But now, like in 7th grade, I can say that was my real thing. I started. I used to cut hair, and I realized that I just out of necessity, you know, like because my dad refused to take me to a barber shop. But then at that time, that's when like Kid and Play was popular and all kind of stuff. Yeah. And people were getting lines and designs. But to me, it came easy. Yeah. So I made a good little business off of doing that really quick, you know. And I was actually, you know, like I say like 87, 88, I'm making like 60, you know, like $50, $60 a day. No, you know, like
that's
this is during the week during school. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so I was actually doing good. Yeah. You know? And then that just kind of rolled into airbrushing. You know, where a lot of people knew me from airbrushing. It was, and that was another job that
airbrushing was popular back then. Oh yeah, man.
No, really popular. Yeah. But it was a job I fell into. All my jobs I just accidentally fall into. It's like I said, I never wanted to be a barber. I just cut my own hair. Yeah. And then people like, why is your hair looking fresh all the time? And I'm like, because I cut it. And they like, how much you charge? So then I started just saying, okay, I'll just charge you this much. I'll undercut a couple other people, and next thing you know, I'm good. Airbrushing, I wasn't trying to be an airbrush artist either. It was like I just wanted some airbrush clothes. My mom wouldn't take me to the mall. I was trying to get her to take me over to New Park Mall, and this old dude that he didn't do good work, but he was just like an artist. You know, like airbrush was airbrush back in the day. Yeah. She wouldn't take me, so I was like, fuck it. I went to, this is how old I am. I went to Alpha Beta.
Oh, no shit. Really?
That's how old I am. I went to Alpha Beta. Bought tons of Sharpies. Okay. Drew on my pants that day, like that night. Went to school the next day. Everybody was just like, "Holy shit, who did that?" And I'm like, "I did it." And I made about $1,000 that week just from orders from people for me to draw on them with markers.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and airbrushing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this is just markers. I actually took my I took that money and went and bought airbrush equipment.
Oh, no shit. So that was just markers?
That was just markers. Yeah. Bro. So I went and bought some airbrush equipment. And the first thing that I airbrushed, it was kind of dope because I was nervous as hell, but it was for this girl. It was a whole sweatsuit because she was going to a BBD concert that night. Okay. And Michael Bivins actually called her on stage at the Oakland Coliseum because he loved the way her stuff looked. What? And I was like, okay, I got a business in this.
You should have trademarked that shit.
Dude, yeah. 2 weeks later, I got my mom ended up hooking me up with a job in the mall, like this little dude with a kiosk. We just kind of talked to him for a second. He was like, yeah, can I have you come in after school? And I was doing really, really good. I was making like at least a couple $100 a day after school. Wow. You know, weekends I was killing it. 16, I opened up my own shop. Well, my mom opened it up for me, but I paid for everything. I just wasn't. I'm not 18, so
you didn't have that credit. Yeah,
exactly. But we had a store upstairs, Express Yourself.
Oh no shit.
In Bayfair Mall, we had it for like 7-8 months, but then they closed us down. It wasn't because we needed to be closed down. It's just the senior citizens up there. They had their center, and they were kind of like, we didn't even cause no problems. They just felt that we were too young to be in their area, and the mall management had to comply.
That's what happened in the Tracy Mall when they opened up a tattoo shop.
Yeah, I know the dude that owned that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was not a family shop. That's why they closed it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? No way. I went in there a couple times to check it out. Never got tatted.
Yeah. Actually, I think he was sleeping in there too. I think that's the main reason they kicked him out.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a nice shop. No, it was a nice shop, man. That's why I always went in. I was like, dude, this shop is fucking clean.
He actually had it. He had it the right way because he had the clothing store in the front, the airbrush area. Then he had the tattoo stuff way in the back. Yeah. No, he was killing it.
I think it was at Needles and Threads.
Yeah. No, he was killing it. But yeah, the same thing like with when I was airbrushing, I ended up working back at Bayfair Mall. I'm at this it's like a little flag shop, and I just told them, like, just give me this corner, let me do what I do. And he was just like, good, do this. Yeah. But I noticed after a while, a lot of people were coming in asking me to draw designs so they can go get tattoos. And like me, honestly speaking, I never even tripped over tattoos. Like I see people with tattoos, but I never seen any tattoos that were worth me saying like, oh my God, that's dope. You see like hella hood and ratchet tattoos. So it's just like people just got garbage on them half the time.
Exactly.
So,
yep.
But I had this dude come in and he asked me to draw a design for him so he can get this little piece on his arm. And I was like, it was something I thought was dope, So I spent some time, drew it out really, really nice. And I didn't see him for like about 3-4 months. And then all of a sudden, I was just out on the street one day, and I just saw him out, and I was like, "Hey, you know, like, do you ever get that tat?" And he was like, "Yeah." You know, he came over and showed me, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really like it too much." But I looked at it; it was real fucked up. But really? I think I was more offended because it was my art that was fucked up.
That was fucked up. Yeah.
Well, I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't. You didn't know it then. But if an artist takes another artist's work, that's already a bad sign.
Yeah, but that was part of what I was thinking. Like, why does, like, if these are supposed to be tattoo artists, like, why are you bringing them other people's work?
Yeah.
But sometimes I get it, and sometimes I understand. But it's like one of them things where I think I was just really offended that that my work looked that messed up on somebody. And then the thing that clicked to me again is that he told me how much he paid. You know, and he was like, "Oh, I paid like $700 for this," and I'm like, "Really?" For that?
Shit.
Yeah, and I was like,
light bulb went off or what?
No, a straight light bulb went off. I was like it was LED back in the day before LED. I was like,
LED,
like literally that night I went to a liquor store because I always seen tattoo magazines, never looked at them, and I just looked in the magazine, and a lot of the work in there didn't impress me, and knowing what I know now, a lot of the work in there was traditional work. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's harder to do traditional work than what it appears to be to make it look proper and right. But at the time,
it's harder, the simplification of things. It's hard to just simplify stuff.
Yeah, make it look nice. Clean. Yeah. But I didn't know that at the time. So to me, it just looked like little kid drawings, old sailor tattoos. You know, like it didn't look like it was like, oh my God, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
And on top of that, no room for error.
Yeah, exactly.
No room for error.
Yeah. But to me, I was like, I seen a little ad. You know, some of the people know it. Huck Spalding, they had a little ad in there for like $600. You get a whole tattoo set and kit.
Oh, no shit.
And I was just like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. It's like, it ain't that much money. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. It don't, it don't.
Yeah.
And I went to, I went to another artist. This is how bad I am with tattooing it. I never tripped over it. I actually airbrushed the entire inside of a tattoo shop before and didn't even think about what they were doing. I was just there for the tattoo.
I was just there
for the murals. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I was like, but I went over to dude. Like I went over and hollered at him, and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into tattooing. And first thing he told me was like, nah, you need to stick with the airbrushing. You don't need to, you don't need to tattoo or anything like that. It's no money in this. You ain't gonna.
Sounds like a hater right there.
Oh yeah, no, he
hater.
Eventually, like a few years later, he asked me to work for him, but I'm like, nah,
hell no.
But the whole thing is, and you can't really look at my story and say it's the right way of doing things after knowing the right way of doing things, but. Only thing I did is I looked at what he was doing while he was talking to me, telling me no. He was setting up for a tattoo. So I'm paying attention to everything he's doing, looking at this. Why is there a rubber band? I don't know. Like I'm just following.
And there was
all
no
of this
YouTube
stuff.
or nothing.
There was none of
no
that.
Internet,
this was like 94, 95.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there looking at it. I went home. I did my first tattoo. I had like. When I told people that were asking me to draw designs for them that I might start tattooing, they were like, I'll just wait for you. And I'm like, I'm telling them, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But they were still like,
and they had
wait.
faith in you.
Yeah. So I had like when I first started, I probably had like about 20, 30 people just waiting.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy.
Fresh canvases.
Yeah. No, for
nice.
real. Yeah.
So what was the first tattoo you did?
Oh, wait. Before that, I don't mean to cut you off, but we're going to go on a quick break.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we'll finish up this story. All right, and we're back.
All right. One of the first tattoos I did was like a little tribal design. I did a little tribal design, lower back tattoo, tribal design. It was like on my girl at the time. Like like it was kid's mom. So I was sitting there. I'm like, she's a good guinea pig. She ain't gonna trip, And I had another friend of mine that wanted to his last name Martinez, but I flipped it. I flipped the Wu-Tang symbol upside down and put
Martinez
through the middle.
Really? That's sick.
Yeah, so
Wu-Tang forever.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, like those are the first things I did. But then I realized that to me, it wasn't that hard. Like there was still stuff I needed to learn, of course.
Sure.
But it wasn't that hard. So after 2 to 3 months of just working out the house. you know, but I didn't, when I say I worked out of the house, people like kind of be like, oh, okay, you know, like you in the kitchen. Like, nah, I didn't know about the full sterilization, everything like this.
Yeah.
But I was so nervous about it that I just used to buy new stuff for everything I did.
Oh,
like,
no shit.
because I was worried about HIV, anything like that.
Yeah.
So, like, there's people that were, like, cleaning, you know, like, they'll clean the same needles and use them, you know. Like, people were, you know, they would clean their tubes and autoclaves and, you know, like, in shops. But I didn't know about all of that stuff. So the thing I did, I would just basically, like, you know, clean down my stuff with alcohol or whatever I felt that was cleaning it down.
Yeah.
And then I would throw away metal tubes.
Oh,
know?
Man.
Yeah,
you know what's funny that you say that is because back then, I mean, even when I started tattooing was still looked down upon. So, you know, he started way before me. So they had this really bad stigma of tattoos, and they were just like, you're going to get an infection, it's going to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everything's contaminated. Yeah. So I could just imagine.
I've always heard that.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, I could just imagine what he was thinking back then.
Because I had a couple of I knew a few cats that was doing it, you know, like doing the tattoos like around. And, you know, like one of the cats, he came and gave me like, he gave me a homemade tattoo machine one day. And I'm like,
prison style?
Yeah. I'm like, the fuck, this is like a mechanical pencil and a battery. Like, I'm good. And well, like a spoon, like I'm good.
That's a rotary, bro.
Yeah, not directly. I mean, knowing now what I know is like, okay, you were kind of innovative in what you were doing, but I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm not trying to do anything that I feel can get anybody sick or anything. But
yeah,
I just got lucky. Like the thing I want to say, like about like 3 months after I started tattooing, I got offered a job to work at a shop.
Oh shit!
But I wasn't looking for a job at a shop. I just wanted to.
How old were you at this time?
I was 21.
Oh, okay. You were young, man.
Yeah.
You were hecka young.
Yeah. I had I went to the shop that was in Hayward. I never been in it, you know, and everyone, it was like the main shop that everybody goes into, and I went in there just to look around. You know, of course, the guy asked me, you know, you trying to get something done? I'm like, nah, I do tattoos. And he was like, oh, okay. Well, like, show me something you did. And I was like, oh, shit. So I looked at my boy Paul. He came with me, and I was like, I did this tribal lion on him, you know, like on his arm. It's like a real big piece on him. And dude looked at it. He was like, where you get that pattern from? He's like, that's sick. I'm like, I just drew it. And he was just like, what do you mean you drew it? I was like, I just drew it on him with a pen, and then I tattooed it. And he was like, oh, shit. He's like, how long you been tattooing? I told him, like, you know, just like a few months. He was like, hold on. Went and grabbed the owner of the shop. The owner came in. He was just like, let me see this lion. Let me see this lion. And he's like, whoa, this is good. You know, like, I like this. This is really good. And I was like, oh, thank you. He's like, all right, so you could start what, tomorrow? You thinking about starting tomorrow or something? I'm like, dude, I ain't looking for a job.
No
you know?
way.
Yeah, he just instantly just like, he was like, dude, he's like, well, if you ready to work, I got
Come
you.
on
Let's go.
Yeah,
and I just
that's
hit
sweet.
it and went from there. So
wow.
But you know what's funny? So he's explaining the story, but like a lot of people don't understand the context. It's like back then, it would just flash on the wall. It's like you see a flash, you pick it, you tattoo it.
Exactly.
No reference.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't go on the internet and be like, okay, I like this part of the line. I like this part of the line. I'm gonna combine them together. No, it was none of that. So
actually, literally, when we first started with the Flash, I mean, for people who don't know, Flash is just a whole bunch of pre-designed pictures from artists. The walls were riddled with Flash, and they had numbers. Most of them had prices on them.
Oh, no
you know,
shit.
so like you just knew like, hey, I want you know, like I want page 100 F, and that was like $80.
No
you know what I'm
shit.
saying? And that's how you went and got your tattoo.
Okay.
You know, so
So I don't remember that. That's probably something.
Well, that's even before my time.
Okay,
because they would go and they would say like, because I watch a lot of documentaries.
Okay.
So they would be like, if it's not on the wall, I'm not gonna tattoo it.
Well, the problem is that at a certain point in time, a lot of tattoo artists were not artists. They knew how to tattoo.
Yeah,
so you're a tattooer.
Yeah,
but you're not a tattoo artist. You know what I'm saying? So like, just being able to physically know how the machinery works, being able to execute and copy and trace a preset, a preset design is making you a tattooer to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so yeah, I can functionally like tell you like, this is only go this deep in the, you know, all the mechanics of a tattoo, how to give a tattoo, you know how to follow and trace a line. and then you have to figure out how to fill and color it in and fade and shade it. And once you actually get past that preset design, people, they just got lost, you know, like, so after, I want to say like probably like in the early 2000s or so, more artists started tattooing, which is a complete difference, you know, like after 2000, I want to say maybe like 2008 to 2010, we started getting kids going to like Academy of Arts College, coming out with full degrees.
Shit.
And tattooing. Like, so realistically, I mean, I see people with stuff that looks like Renaissance art. I mean, stuff that looks like oil paintings on people. And I'm like, damn. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, you didn't see that 20 years ago. You didn't see that 30 years ago. You know, like
no realism either.
Yeah. Especially back in the day, like if you go back into like the 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, like I said, that was like, tattooing was a looked down upon thing.
Yeah,
you know,
that was like the sailors with the anchors.
Sailors were doing it. They were, you know, it was a little bit of a defiance. It was like a club thing that sailors did. You know what I'm saying? Like part of their clique.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because it was in San Diego. As soon as they get off from war or from being,
it's like a rite of passage with other people.
Yeah, they would get tattooed right on the shore, and then they would go back to whatever they were doing.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, and then it's all about the you know, it was the bad boy image, you know, like if you were in a biker gang, you were
a gang.
It's just a way to show that you're tough.
Yeah.
You know, like I did this, you know what I'm saying? And now, but you know, now it's like, I don't know, it's like everybody doing it.
Everybody's got it. And you know what's crazy is like back in the day, like they would have like the spider webs on the elbow for a certain race, and it means you did a certain thing, or like the teardrops, certain thing. But nowadays,
tattoo life is different.
None of that shit means
not
anything.
Everybody has because the spider webs were like, I think however many circles like you had is however many years you served or something like that.
And it's supposed to be like, I think, I might be wrong, but I think in like the Caucasian, the Aryan nation, I think the spider web means something else too. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but
everyone has different meanings for everything. You know?
Just
even like, you know, like when the teardrop, you know, like in jail, the teardrop was because, you know, you killed or murdered somebody. And, and it had its significance. Now you got rappers with teardrops talking about, I killed that track.
Yeah,
you know like, come on now.
I killed that track.
Like,
oh man.
I love it.
I would have been like, you one hit wonder then, because you only got one teardrop.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, you know, for real. Like it's I mean, like, but it goes in with a lot of stuff. Because I remember, you know, like back in the day, like, oh, you were homosexual or gay if you had an earring. Now all of a sudden, if you had two, now it's like, people are like getting stuff all over the place. So a lot of the cultural stigmas of tattoos are, I'm not gonna say that they're like fully dissipated, but they're fading down, you know what I'm saying? Because culturally, so many people are doing so many things that have nothing to do with the original meanings of it. You know?
Well, it's just like skinny jeans, right? They were supposed to be for only girls. Now guys are wearing them. It's just everything. Everything is just
everything just shifting.
It's crazy, man. It really is. Because I know when I was first starting to get jobs and stuff back in the day, you know, I had a tattoo right here, and my mom's like, you're not going to get a job with that tattoo. So I always wear long sleeves every time I go anywhere, no matter if it's 110 outside. Long sleeve, I'm going to a job interview, right? Nowadays, you go in an interview, and the bosses, the owners, or whatever, they have they're all tatted up. Like, nobody gives a shit about tattoos.
You know, the weird thing that I find with that, too, is, like, back when I started tattooing, it was kind of like a thing to where you stopped at the wrist, you stopped at the neckline, you stop at the ankle line, and everything else was free game. Just so, like, in case you need to go get a job or you need to go look professional somewhere and do stuff. And it's been like, and if you were to get something on your hand or your neck, that was a complete defiance of society, of stating that I am not gonna go along with the regular norms of society, and I'm, you know, and I'm gonna be this free person. Lately, I don't know, it's stupid as fuck to me. I see kids with just their neck and their hands tattooed.
I know.
I'm like,
first,
what the hell is that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do see that neck. Hands, so anything on their face, their head. That
bro,
before
Post Malone put them on, bro.
Man,
it's crazy, bro.
Nah, because I seen this kid. I'm like, because he was wearing like a he was in Vegas, you know, like he was wearing like a long sleeve shirt, And, you know, I seen his neck was fully blasted. You know, he had a couple tattoos on his face. He had his hands done. And, you know, I wasn't really tripping. You know, we were, and I seen him later. We was at the Mandalay Bay. I seen him at the pool area. And I'm like, this motherfucker ain't got not one tattoo anywhere else on his body.
Wow.
Except for his hands.
He just wants everybody to see that shit. Yeah, that's what it is.
But I went over and asked him. I said, why? You know, he was just like, oh, you know, like, so when I'm wearing stuff, you know, I might do my forearms next. So when I pull my shirt up, it'll look like I'm just fully covered. Oh my God, I was lost.
That's crazy.
That's a super front. You know, what's funny is that at the other shop, there was this guy that came in, and he brought his sister along, and he wanted to get a tattoo, right? He just turned 18, like literally like a couple days before, so he wanted to get like, he wanted to get a tattoo on his hand. I think he wanted to say mob, right? So I was just like, I kind of told him, I was like, bro, like, I don't want to tattoo this tattoo on you. Like, what are you planning on doing in the future? He was a barber. He was just like, oh, I'm just going to be barbering. I was like, when did you start barbering? He was like, oh, about 2 months ago. I'm like, well, how do you know that's what you want to do for the rest of your life? And he's like, I just know. So he got mad at me, right? So he left, and then his sister came back, I think, later on. I got tattooed by my friend, and she was, like, kind of, like, talking bad about me, right? And I heard about it. I was in the next booth, and I was like, hey, like, you think I'm being an asshole, but I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to look out for your brother. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. You should
He's
be
young.
Yeah,
He's
like
young.
You're older. You should be a good influence on your brother. You know what I mean? And my friend was right there, and my friend was like, he's right. Like, you know what I mean? He's not telling you. He's not steering you the wrong way. End of story though. He got his hands tattooed anyways by someone else. And it's like
I get that in the sense, like, my brother, he's been in prison for 10 years, right? He's my middle brother, so he's younger than me.
Yeah, he's about to get out.
Just got granted for parole, right? So he's been in there like 10 years now, since he was 18 or 19. He's been in. For something he didn't do, he just, you know, took the rap race.
Wrong place, wrong time.
You know what I mean?
That sucks. Yeah,
kept his mouth shut and got what he got. You know what I mean? So, anyways, he went in there with one little one. I mean, he ain't got nothing. My mom's like, I don't care. You don't ever get nothing on your hands, your face, your neck. Don't ever. You're gonna have a hard time as it is when you get out. You know what I mean? But he does that inside. Bro, I've seen his work. Fucking amazing shit, dude. It's crazy, man.
Well, you know, that goes back to, like, what I was saying is, like, now everyone had to step up their game. You know, like, now there's artists doing tattoos, you know, and so, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I could say the cheaper people, the people who are unnecessarily frugal, there's always going to be somebody getting some whack-ass tattoos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's always going to be somebody to provide them with whack-ass tattoos.
Yeah. Oh, there's always going to be.
Always. Yeah. But, like, to me, if you got a tattoo past 2005 that's whack, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's way too many people out here that transcended what the initial thing of a tattoo is to making it, like, everything art pieces. You know, it's like, you know, it's like how they say, you know, like, decorate your temple. You know, your body's your temple, decorate your temple.
Yeah.
But you don't ever go into, you know, it's a difference between going into a church and the church looking like it got graffiti on the outside, but all the murals on the inside are beautiful. Like, no, like, you want it to be, you don't want your body to be beautiful.
I totally agree with that. That's one thing I do regret is getting tattoos at 17, 18, 19,
and you thought they were dope back then.
And getting tatted, like, fully to where I started up top first. I didn't start down low. I never got nothing on my hands except that for my wife. Yeah. And I just recently got that, you know, because I can't be wearing wedding rings, dude. They fall off, or I just don't want to lose them, or I work with my hands a lot, so I don't want to get my skin ripped off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So getting tattoos, you know, I started up top, and then getting them at 17, 18 years old, you know, you're thinking your homie's the shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got one really good tattoo from Jerome.
From Jerome, yeah. Jerome's, I just need to get it touched up. I got that when I was, like, 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but, like I was saying, like, some of these tattoos I got, like, I'm thinking about seriously even getting them removed, you know what I mean? Like, I need to remove that shit from my body because some of these were just huge. Some of them have meaning, you know what I mean? Some of them are, like, you know, it's got my son's name, you know what I mean? And I'll never get that because that was literally my first tattoo, you know what I mean? Or second tattoo. So I'll never remove that. It looks good, you know what I mean? It looks all right, but there's certain tattoos that I definitely want to get removed.
And that's usually the thing where I go back into a lot of people where it doesn't hurt the laser surgery, you know, like the laser your tattoos off and stuff like that in order to get a better product. You know, like I had a guy that it's crazy. Like he had got, I feel kind of bad for this other dude because he got a whole sleeve with dude, and he always like somebody I was working with, he actually asked me to like, hey, can you do a piece like on the same arm? You know, and it's like, I told him I don't want to disrespect dude's sleeve. You know, he's doing his thing. And he's like, nah, I want you to, I'd already talked to him. I told him I'm leaving a space for you and this and that. And I was like, cool. So I did the tattoo on him. And he came back like about a few months later. And he was just like, man, he's like, real talk. He's like, I'm looking at what you did and I'm looking at everything else on my arm. He's like, I don't want you to feel offended. And I already talked to dude too. I'm about to laser off my entire sleeve, and I want you to redo my entire sleeve. He's like, I'm even lasering off what you did because I don't feel it could, you know.
It needs to all go together and shit.
He's like, I just want you to do the whole piece.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that threw me off. I was like, damn. You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, from what I've heard, that laser removal isn't cheap either. You know
it
what
ain't
I mean?
cheap, but the whole thing is,
I think it's worth it.
It's on you for life. So it's all in about the way that you go about doing stuff. It's about what you have and how you're going to put everything together. I mean, tomorrow's never promised for nobody, but at the same time, like if you live an extra 30 years, are you going to be happy with that for another 30, 40 years? No. You know what I'm saying? So if it takes
if
2
you're asking
years,
me, no.
If it takes you like a year, 2 years, 3 years to save up the money to do it, to get it done right.
Yeah.
If that's what is going to make you happy 10 years from now, do it. You know, it's like when people pick a bad artist, you know, and it's like, you know, it's sort of like the same thing where you could have saved up the money to go to the person you wanted to, but you just went cheaper because it was close and convenient. Yeah. But 10 years from now, who cares about how much it cost or what you did to do it? Do you have what you like? Yeah. 20 years from now, you know, like everybody with fucked up tattoos, they always start off everything with the exact same excuse. Yeah. Oh, well, the only reason I did this, you know, he only charged me. That's not an excuse. Yeah,
that's a horrible excuse.
It is. It is.
And that just, to me, that shows instantly that you're insecure about what you got as opposed to just being properly invested into your body.
Yeah. You know what blows my mind more than anything is people that want to do a walk-in tattoo for a big piece. Like, they want to get, like, you know, like a whole line. You know what I mean? And they just want to walk in and do it. It's like, so you're just taking a risk. You don't even know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know who's going to do it, the work, nothing. You're just like, and some people don't even look at my book. Like, I'll be like, hey, did you look at my book? And they'll be like, no, I didn't look at your book. I'm like, well, look at my book. Like, you're like, let me know if you like it. You know what I mean? Like, you're just telling me right now that you're okay with anything, which is not okay to me for some reason.
I think it's smart for, I never listened to my mom. You know, she always said, wait till you get tattoos. You know, wait to get them. You don't, you know, you change. You know. Yeah. You grow up, you know, you might not think the tattoos you're getting now are going to be necessarily what you're going to like when you get older. You know, I should have listened to her. I should have waited maybe a few more years, you know, because some of the tattoos I got were just kind of stupid shit. Like, you know, I should have just waited. You know what I mean? Because I think the person I am today, I would redo all my sleeves, both my sleeves, but you know, completely different.
But you know what that is really? It's a good portion of your mother being right, but it's also about you not picking the right person. Yeah. Because the thing is like, you know, like when I have my clients, when I'm tattooing younger people and stuff like that, even when I was younger, I have to understand why you're getting a tattoo. I would literally have like almost therapy sessions with people before their tattoo just so I can understand what's going on in their head. But I'm the kind of person that, like, I mean, if you know me, Brian, I'm just straightforward. Like, if I think it's something stupid, it's stupid, dude. Yeah, like, and it's dumb. Like, and when I actually do certain tattoos, I'll still do it, but I'm gonna do it, and it's still gonna look nice. But I'm gonna do it with the knowledge of you knowing that I said this is stupid as fuck. So when you actually turn around later and be like, man, it's still clean, but I shouldn't have did it. He did tell me this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man. And that's the thing where most artists, a lot of people, they just come in, they just like, cool, I'm gonna get your money, get you out, and they don't really talk to you. But to me, I'm like, nah, like we need to. Yeah, I need to discuss. I need to figure out like, is this just a?
It's artists have these visuals that a normal person just doesn't have. I'll give you an example. He was doing he was tatting my chest up, right? And I had this idea what I wanted. I'm like, nah, I want that. You know, I know that shit's clean. You know, and he's like, nah, man. He's like, I don't like it. I'm like, bro, that's what I want. He's like, let me draw something out for you, bro. And if you like your shit better, we'll do your shit. But I promise you're gonna like my shit better. I'm like, fuck no, nope. I love this shit, you know. And he fucking drew it. I'm like, oh my god, that's way better. You know what I mean? Like he just had a vision. Tattoo artists just have visions. Then I'm not an artist.
Well, it's our job.
You know,
it's our job, and it's the same reason why you go to professionals for certain things. You know, like no matter what it is, if someone's gonna build something for the inside of your house, you know, you went to that. You didn't. If you went just randomly search somebody and said, "Hey, I just need this entertainment center built in my house," and it turns out fucked up, that's your fault. Yeah. If you really want a dope ass thing, you went and researched and looked who does this, the style of work that they do, and everything. And if it costs a little bit more, save up a little bit more, get it done the right way. Yeah, and that's the thing. And but then also when you do go in, you might have a vision for something, but this is what these people do all day. Yeah, and they might tell you like, nah, dude, put something over here, do this, add this, and do this, and it'll be really, really nice for your room in particular. Yeah. And, you know, if you're still stuck in like, no, I need it exactly like this, and then you turn back later and be like, yeah, I really did wish. Now I see what he was talking about, you know. But that's why I say it just goes back to you vetting the person who's going to put something on you for the rest of your life. Yeah, you know, you need that's to make sure that you're
and then also, too, something that nobody really talks about is when an artist suggests something, is because he's trying to play to his strengths. Because sometimes something that you ask of them to do is not what he does. So if you tell him like, hey, this is gonna look better, it's gonna look better because I'm gonna make it look better because this is what I do.
Yeah. Okay, you know? That makes sense. Yeah. I think anybody who's not a tattoo artist hearing that would appreciate it. Like, hey, cool. He's gonna make it look sick away what he specializes in, rather than something he doesn't do all the time. Right. I get that.
Because people come in with these giant expectations, but they go to the wrong artist with that expectation. Yeah. You know, and it's like, like if you go to somebody who does nothing but traditional work and you want a realism piece,
it's not gonna.
And it's sometimes the artist's fault for not saying I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I admit if I can't do something, I'll say it. You know, like easily. I'm not gonna try to do. I'm not gonna try to do anything outside of my wheelhouse without the full knowledge and consent from the person after I told them I'm uncomfortable doing this because this is not something I regularly do. Okay. You know, and if you're trusting me to still do it within my style and what I do, we're good. Yeah. But a lot of people don't say that. You know, you go into a shop, you give them a portrait. They like, cool, I can do a portrait of your kids. Let's go.
Yeah, it comes out looking like a cartoon.
Like, look like season 6 of The Walking Dead. You know, like, nah, you don't want to. You want to make sure that. That's you want to make sure that. You know, you pick the right person. You pick you pick somebody who does stuff. You know, like I tell people all the time, don't look at just what you want to get. Look at other stuff that's in their book and their you know, like inside of their portfolio of work. Because if you want a flower, and someone can do a dragon, flower, you know, like skulls, all this other stuff that's not even that stuff you like. Yeah. But they do some of the stuff you like, but other shit you don't like. But then they collectively, you're like, wow, I just love that body of work. Yeah. That's who you should mess with. Because some people, they can randomly find a picture, copy it enough to where it looks good, and then people are like, okay, he did this one. I don't like the rest of his work, but he did that nice, so I trust him.
And you shouldn't look at it that way.
Exactly. That's right.
Okay. So we'll be wrapping it up. I mean, we'll still keep it going for a little bit. But see, I told you, man, like this feels like it's gonna we don't know what to talk about, but once we start talking, an hour goes by. Like an hour goes by right now.
Man. And I have so much more questions, but I know we gotta cut it off now. So man, I appreciate you coming in and talking and being on the podcast with us, bro. It's something that I said, man, I've been wanting to talk to you about. Just pick your brain for a while. You know what I mean? Tattoos are something I love, something that I'm not an artist, but I wish I was because I love tattoos that much. You know what I mean?
Well, tell people where they can find you your information, you know?
Yeah, we're Industry Custom Tattoo Studio, 922 Larkspur Drive, Livermore, California. Yeah, exactly. We always represent Industry every day and all day. Social media, Industry.com, Industry_tattoos on IG. And I guess if you slash Industry on, just put in Industry on Facebook, you pop up. Yeah. But, at MbTat2, of course, my boy Ink Bully, you know, he's there representing with us as well.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Jay Flores, Jesso, you know, Inky Haley, my guy Daniel. You know, we up here doing it and making sure that, you know, we're trying to make sure to make the world beautiful, like one tattoo and piercing at a time.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a part 2 because I talk to you all the time, but I still got way more to ask.
Nah, I'm definitely like, whenever you're ready to have me back, I have no problems. And
cool. Sounds good, man. Thanks again, bro.
Thank you guys for joining in. Find us on YouTube.